So the old way to add style to your HTML code was to add HTML attributes to an element and to add tags to style the enclosed text. All of the tags and attributes we'll talk about today have been deprecated, meaning that they shouldn't be used anymore. They've been replaced by a better method. The reason they're deprecated is because they mix structure with presentation, they're hard to maintain, and there's a better way to do it, which is CSS. So why are we going to learn it? Well, some websites still use it, so it's useful to be able to recognize it so you can remove it from a website. But mostly it's required curriculum for the CMT 130 class still, and many of the class assignments will require it. All of the CMT 130 classes do approximately the same projects and assignments. We'll start using CSS in 3 to 4 weeks, so please be patient. There are quite a few attributes you can add to the body tag to style the whole web page. BG color adds a background color to your page. Text adds a text color to your page. Link, V-link, and A-link will color your links. Top margin, bottom margin, left margin, and right margin control the size of your margins. And finally, background adds a background image to your web page. Here is an example of the body tag with many of the attributes specified. You do not need to use all of the attributes, and the order of the attributes does not matter. There are 3 ways to specify color for an attribute. The first way is to use the HTML color word. For example, red, green, blue, gold, coral, or indigo will all work. This example shows a red background. You can see the full list of HTML color names at the W3 Schools website. The second way to specify color is to use the RGB value. Here the value of the attribute will be RGB with the red, green, and blue values inside parentheses. The values range from 0 to 255. The higher the value, the more of the red, green, or blue will be mixed into the final color. Here, the example shows a red background. The third way to specify color is to use the hexadecimal value. A hexadecimal value is a pound sign followed by 6 letters or numbers. After the pound sign, the first 2 values specify the color of red, the second 2 green, and the last 2 blue. Like the RGB values, there are 256 shades of red, green, and blue, which combine to make over 16 million colors. This is the standard format used on the web. There are several websites that will help you make a hexadecimal color. For example, htmlcolorcodes.info. For images, there are 4 attributes you can style. Border adds a border around the picture, its value is in pixels. Align specifies whether the image is aligned top, bottom, middle, left or right. Left or right are the most common. If you specify left or right, the text will wrap around the image. H-space and V-space add padding around the picture. Their values are specified in pixels. Here's an example of an image with a 2-pixel border that's aligned right and has an H-space and a V-space of 10 pixels. For headings and paragraph, there's a line attribute. The values are left, right, center, and justify. For the example, a paragraph is aligned center. The font tag was used to specify the font face, size, and color of enclosed text. It has 3 attributes: face, size, and color. In the example, part of a paragraph has been changed to font face Arial, size 4, and color red. The font face value lists the name of a font. It must be spelled correctly, and don't forget that the user must have the font installed on their system in order to see the font. The size attribute's value is a number from 1 to 7, where 1 is the smallest size and 7 is the largest. It can also be specified as a relative size from -6 to +6. -6 would be 6 times smaller, +6 would be 6 times larger. For the color, we could have also used the hexadecimal value or an RGB value. The center element will center the text within its opening and closing tags. Finally, the U element underlines text that's contained between its opening and closing tags. So that's it for the old school method of styling. We'll be using this method for the next few weeks, after which we'll learn CSS and then use that from then on.